Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, to His Eminence Master Sakya Tsongkhong Tejung Rinpoche, to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and Master Thupten Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa, the Mahaswara Buddha King. Simon, all masters, Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the webcast. May all be auspicious. Our guest of honors today, first is the great accountant to Buddha School, Dharma Sister Teresa, and her husband, Larry, and Dr. Zhuang. And they already introduced earlier the four little girls from California, and also many other VIPs. How do you do? Last evening, I have told everyone at the Seattle Lechang Temple that double body consort practice of Tantrayana is totally different from the sexual desire between man and woman. Do not mix it together. There is a difference. And what is the difference? For a tantric yogi, they're actually practicing. They are not fulfilling their sexual desire. So the difference, this kind of difference, one is holy and the other one is mundane. And one is pure and the other, we cannot say it is dirty or obscene, but it's the typical sex of the mundane people. So there are differences. They are definitely different. They're not the same. So for the typical man and woman, for in their sexual pleasures, is that they would enjoy the pleasure for a moment and then they would feel tired. And sometimes you can say that prior to doing it, it's like the wheel that's getting the air filled, and then after they finish, it's like a flat tire. However, the double body consort practice, they are two different kinds. One has great enjoyment, that you would feel the chi is full and the central channels open and the inner fire can rise and the light drops can drip. So it has great benefits. It has lots of benefits. For a yogi or practitioner, they would feel very robust and energetic, and so it's said here externally we can see that gray hair can turn black. The eyes are sparkling with great energy. The hearing gets clearer. The skin becomes radiant. And most importantly, the wrinkles disappear and the skin becomes soft and supple. So the wrinkles would disappear. So from external appearance, you can tell. But don't use Grandmaster as a standard, because that's how Grandmaster looks, that Grandmaster's hair from gray to black. Because when I see a little bit of gray hair, I would shave it clean so that you can't tell whether it's gray or dark. And the eyes are sparkling with great energy. Grandmaster never wears any spectacles or any glasses. And I can see any writings, even the small writings. Or on the watch, Saturday. Today's the 5th, I can read very clearly. Rolex, I can read it clearly. And the small writings on the book, small writings, and I can read it. And I don't need glasses when I write. I never wear any spectacles. Do we have an optometrist here? I'm 68 and I have my eyes checked and they said that I'm normal. I don't have any cataract, no glaucoma, and my eyesight's about 20/20. Slight, a very slight. A little bit stigmatism, a little bit. But if you feel uncomfortable with it, then you can wear sunglasses. They asked me to wear sunglasses. So I have no need for eyeglasses. As you can see, Grandmaster doesn't wear any glasses. And the hearing gets very clear. I can hear clearly when you talk to me. I don't need to wear the hearing aid. So Master Lien Gao wore hearing aids, but he's older than I am. There are two masters who are older than I am. Master Lien Gao is 75. And Lien Wen, Master Lien Wen, 76. So do you wear glasses? They do. Glasses. So till now, I'm 68 and I never wear any eyeglasses. And many disciples felt curious because typically for my meal, people would get the food and place it in front of me. And because of this, there was a rumor that said that because Grandmaster's eyesight got really bad, that he could not see, so that's why people have to take some food for him. But that's not the case because Grandmaster, I can still pick any food I like. Like you play the juggling with 3 balls. You throw and pick and throw and pick. I can still do that. So my eyesight, my hearing are still good. And the skin is radiant. Well, that's hard to say, but for 68, do you have radiance? See, but my skin is still soft and white, soft and supple. See, can you tell? Soft and supple, white and like oily, but of course you can see my legs because I have the tiger skin mark on my skin, but that's the sign of a Buddha. Actually, I didn't have that, but Master Lian went to Greece, took us on a tour to Greece, and the weather there is like this every day. So, and Master Lian told us that we're going there for 11 days. 11 days. Oh no. And the guide said, the tour guide said, the tourists, after coming to Greece to see the, what's that called? Gosh. In Athens, and that's all they spend a day there, that's enough. But we went there for 9 days, and I don't know what am I going to show that the tour guide said. And I didn't have that mark on my skin before, but because of the UV on the very hot sun there for days, that's why my legs now have this tiger skin mark. But a good thing, that's also a symbol for Buddha. So in America, it's very dry here, so we have more wrinkles here. But in Taiwan, it's more humid, so the wrinkles are a lot less there. So we have more wrinkles here in America, and look at the Americans, they have lots of wrinkles. So my wrinkles are still not bad. So the skin that doesn't get sun, still pretty good. It's white. It's pale. But I cannot compare to a woman. They're born like that. And there was a famous old story that went like this, that the Mahasiddha Virupa, and he is the lineage guru, the patriarch of the Sakya Pak, the Sakya sect. And he was a dean of the Nalanda University. And he was practicing Mahayana Buddhism. So both in India and Tibet, they're Mahayana and Tantrayana Buddhism. So the dean of the Nalanda University passed away at 34, but actually that was the case. He went in deep into the mountains to practice yoga. So he changed from practicing Mahayana Buddhism into Tantrayana Buddhism to go into the high level. And this Virupa was in Varanasi, India, and the play of words in China. So it's an ancient town by the river Ganga, 1,000-year-old ancient town, Varanasi by the Ganga River. And that morning for breakfast we ate eggs, chicken eggs. And when we peeled the eggs, inside the eggs there were eyes and feathers, so I didn't dare to eat it. I heard that Vietnamese like this kind of eggs because they are most nutritious. It's eggs that's about to hatch. There's some eggs and a little bit of feathers. I didn't dare to eat that. It was this hot. It was really hot in India, and all the food went bad. So I made offering to my Dharma protectors and didn't want to accept it. They didn't want to eat it the first time, second time, third time. When I made the offering, they still didn't come. So I thought it's best not to eat it. So I just drank water. And my followers ate until they're full, and then after they ate, they went to the bathroom. There were 18 of us, and 17 of us had diarrhea. Only Grandmaster did not. So in India, they all had diarrhea. Only I and Simu did not have diarrhea. But she had great big diarrhea when we returned to Hong Kong, and also vomited non-stop. So you have to be careful in India. We brought our own water. You can only use their water to bathe, and you cannot use it to wash your face, or if you lift up your nose, because if it gets into your nose, it would you would get worms from it. So in this ancient town of Varanasi, we changed it to that. Oh no, it's diarrhea. The play of word Chinese. So when Virupa was practicing there, he met the root guru of the Sangpa Kagyu sect. It's one of the Kagyu sect, Sukasiddhi, one of the guru of the white or Kagyu sect of the Sangpa Kagyu sect. A woman, a lady, Sukasiddhi, and Virupa was a man. And at that time, Sukasiddhi was already 61 years old. And Virupa and Sukasiddhi performed the double body consort practice. And Sukasiddhi transformed to become 16 years old. That was the legend. So from 61, and by practicing the consort practice with Virupa, Sukasiddhi became very young, just like a 16-year-old. This is a very amazing thing. And she received great enjoyments and benefits from the double body consort practice, and all her life she looked like a 16-year-old. So there is this benefit. They become very young. And at the end, she attained the immortal rainbow body. For the woman, when they are performing the consort practice, they need to visualize that the central channel and the whole body is transparent. That at the middle, there's the central channel to the secret chakra. And when she performed the consort practice, the qi would enter into the central channel to open it, to remove the obstruction. There is this pith instruction. It's not that the typical mundane people doing it would open the central channel. That's not the case. But for the woman, they need to be able to draw in the qi from the yogi into the woman's central channel. So I cannot tell it here, the fifth instruction of this. Only when someone receives the empowerment I can tell. So how did she attain the rainbow body? Because the central channel is open. And then when the inner fire is ignited and illuminated, and it can burn away all the material things of the body, it would become a ray of light into the space. And this is the immortal, the deathless rainbow light. And this is the highest attainment for a yogi or yogini practice. And there will be no death. You would be like a light going to the space above. So there are many great benefits. So the practitioners of purity, whether you're Mahayana or Tantrayana practitioners, prior to the highest Yoga Tantra, you have to do the purification practices. And you cannot touch the hands of a woman. Like when the woman make offering to you, you cannot touch her hands. You cannot touch her body. There are many rules and ethics in Mahayana Buddhism, like the Vinaya school. You cannot look at the eyes of the woman, because if you do, maybe you would be electrified. You know, between the eyes of the man and the eyes of the woman, it can create electricity, and that would be troublesome. That would be the start of the troubles. There is this joke. That woman is a disaster. Woman is trouble. Woman is a piece of shit. And then someone wrote underneath that man loves to create troubles, and man likes to eat piece of shit. So it's hard to say between a man and a woman, especially about love between man and woman. In ancient times, when the man writes, they would say, one day we went out and turning my head, I saw a beautiful woman, and then gazing, it's a beautiful woman. And then how they develop their relationships, and that's how the ancient writings. So they develop love when they see a woman, and when they see eyes to eyes. Yeah, they court. How the courtship. When there was a monk sitting there cultivating, and there's this very tall, slim woman, and then bend her back toward him. And the monk said, "Oh, benefactor, the closer you get to me, the further away I'm from Buddhahood." So that's prohibitable. So for a woman to make offering to a man in the ancient time, it's like this. When a monk is living in seclusion, you should place the offering of food about 500 yards away, and then the yogi will take it in afterwards. And then the woman requested, how about 200 yards? And then the yogi would think that, okay, 200 yards is still far, so 200 yards. He agreed. And then later on, the woman asked again, how about 50 yards? You know, you still cannot get in touch with me anyway. So the yogi that's practicing in seclusion agreed, fine, 50 yards. And then finally, he took a peek at who is the person that's giving the offering. Wow, it's a beautiful woman. And then the woman requested again, well, I might as well just bring it to your door. And then the yogi said, okay, fine. That's fine, as long as I don't open the door. And then this young girl, after bringing the offering to the door, he opened the door. And then the girl walked in. And this practicing yogi, at the end, brought a baby out together from the retreat hut. So that's why they cried out, benefactor, the closer you get to me, the further away I get from the Buddhahood. For the Vinaya practitioner, they can only look down when they talk to a woman, and they can only speak 3 statements. They only say the important points. They cannot talk too much, and they cannot see eye to eye. That's the rules for the Vinaya practitioners. And then they need to leave after they speak. They're very strict. But if you have an attainment when the woman cannot tempt you anymore, then you can do this double body consort practice. So you need to reach such a state that you have the attainment when the woman do not tempt you anymore before you can do the consort practice. That's the rule for the tantric practice. This joke talking about wrinkles. A 4-year-old saw her grandma ironing a shirt, and the grandma said, look, you know, I can flatten the wrinkled shirt. And then the 4-year-old girl said, why don't you iron your face, then you would not have any more wrinkles. The joke by Dharma Sister Linda. So you can pull your skin to flatten the wrinkles. So now they invent something like a screw, that underneath the hair there is like a screw. So when the skin is sagging, and then you just turn the screw to pull up the skin. And then when it sags again in the future, then you pull it up again, and the skin would smooth out. So one time it sags so much, so it keeps turning. So they keep turning and turning and turning. And then they saw these two little bumps on their face. It turned out to be those 2 little bumps from below. This was told by Dharma Sister Linda. So what is the great benefits of this consort practice? First, that you would have full energy and high spirit. This is great benefit. Second, you would have a very stable qi or stable vital energy and calm spirit and radiant look. Third, all illnesses due to spirit disturbances are cured. For example, when you have attached spirits or you feel very dark and spirit disturbances, that for young people they look old and they look very ashy, that all can be cured. And fourth, your bones would become very strong and you can walk and move very lightly and fast. They don't look like an elderly even when they are old. They will not have any pains and soreness in their limbs and in their back. So they do not have any weakness. Fifth, all the meridians or channels in the body, there are thousands of them. 27,000 channels are open and unobstructed. The most important channel is the central channel, and all the blood vessels to the capillaries, they are all considered to be channels. 27,000 of them, they are all open and unobstructed, and you will have no pain in your body. When there's obstruction in your meridian, you would feel pain, and after a period of time there would be inflammation. So if you feel soreness and pain, that means there's obstruction. So for a tantric yogi, you use the qi to move it in that obstructed area, and then the channels would be open. Or you use the inner fire to burn it for a while. Otherwise, you need to use the masu. And just by coincidence, there is a masu from Usana Vijaya Temple in Auckland. Where is she? Is she here? Please stand up. Oh, what a beautiful masseur. Oh no. Then if she gives you a massage, everyone will be dead. This is a masseur. So there are a lot of people, when they have pain and obstructions, they find a masseur for a massage. But for a tantric yogi, you can use their own qi and inner fire to move in the area a few times, and then it would be open. So all the channels are open and unobstructed. Why? Because they clear off all the obstructions and all the dirty stuff. So it's like the water in the streams, that it will become clean and pure. So it's the same concept for the channels. And the sixth benefit is that all the organs are well and highly functional, no more aging. So all the organs, the heart, kidneys, liver, spleen, stomach, colons, the intestines, so they all can generate bodily secretion or bodily fluid, like our saliva. Because of the saliva, when you eat, it's easy to digest, and the enzyme in the stomach, it can even digest it even more. And there's also fluid or enzyme in the intestines. or even the heart also have some moisturizing fluid, and also the liver, they can produce some kind of bile or fluids. For all the organs, they would generate what the so-called hormones. So all the hormones would be secreted, and say at night that your the sleep hormone would be generated, then you can sleep well. Or say for the pancreas, can produce the insulin, also a kind of hormone. And then it can transform your food, the nutrients, into blood sugar and transport it all over the body. So insulin, melatonin, they're all kind of hormones. Also saliva, the enzyme in your stomach, they're all a kind of hormone. And hormones are produced all over the body, even in the joints. So they will not age. So there would be less aging. If you don't know about this method, then this will dry up. No more hormone, no more bodily secretion. You know, when you are elderly, then there are no more saliva, and they feel very dry, and they would lick their lips because they have no more saliva. They dry up. But Grandmaster, at 68, when I see things, tasty things, I would still salivating. So I swallowed my saliva when I see something good. I love to eat. The seventh benefit is that all the hormones and bodily fluids are full. So both male and female hormones would still be secreted, will not dry up. Because when they dry up, then they enter into menopause, both for men and women, and they would age very fast. And the eighth benefit is the attainment of the way, that the whole body is radiating light. There would be light illuminated from the body. So this was spoken by Master Sakya Zhengkong. These are true words. They are not boastful. This joke is from mainland China. Our leaders are fluent in 4 languages. The subordinate said, our leaders are fluent in 4 languages, and one is boastful languages, lying languages, and then tricking languages, and one more. What Master Sakya Zhengkong said are truthfully this way. It would let you live a very normal life and with high energy, that you can hike and swim, so you can go up to the mountains and down to the ocean, and you can do anything. And you have a very strong and young energy, and not the dark and yin energy like the elderlies. And when they get old, they would speak very softly and very weak and meek, and they walk like this, very stoop over, and they do not move their arms anymore. And the back is curving like our Reverend Juru, but he was born like that. How old are you? 52. 52 is still young. When I was 52, I was the most strong. I don't walk like an elderly man. I can walk very fast and lift my legs in big steps and move my arms, energetic. I can still perform any kinds of exercises. At 68, Grandmaster can. There was a guest in a while, and he's also 68, and he was a general. And I did the double bar, the gymnastic in the double bar, and he thought he's also 68, and he could not do any of that. He didn't dare to move, but Grandmaster is able to. So Sukha Siddhi, she was transformed from 61 years old to become 16. Now look at Simu. Look at her body. In a while, she will change into jeans and to lead us to do line dance. And you can see her figures, that she's slim at the place where she's supposed to be slim, and when it's supposed to be protruding, she's protruding, and they're not fakes. And look at her face. Let's not tell her age, but she's only 4 years younger than I am. So she's older than Sukha Siddhi at that time. So please stand up so everybody can see. So she's still quite cute when she smiles. So when you see her 16-year-old figure, you would know. She used to wear mini skirts before, but now as a Simu, she's too embarrassed to wear it. Do you know that in Taiwan we often say that you have problems of the waist in the 40s, or problems of the backs in your 40s, or problems of the shoulders in your 50s, that you cannot lift up your arms sometimes. But Grandmaster never suffered from any back pain. And I can lift up my arms very straight, even if I lean against the walls, very straight up. I never have any problem with that. I never have any pains in my shoulders. I heard that in the 50s, people cannot lift up their arms. So if you had suffered from that pain, you would know that kind of pain. And they have to tie it when they sleep, otherwise they would wake from the pain. And then one day they would feel no more pain. Why? Because the muscle has frozen. Then they feel no more pain. That's why it's called the frozen shoulders. I have none of that problem. Otherwise, I will not be able to do the gymnastics on the double bar or single bar. someone had a medical checkup and they found the problems and they couldn't lift both arms. And then the doctor said, discussed it with the chief. This person could not lift both arms, so could we let him into the military? And then the chief said, "Oh yeah, of course, because this kind of person will not lift up the hands to surrender." Master Sakya Tsengkhong also said, the great benefits of a great yogi practicing the double body consort practice is innumerable. So the benefits of the body and also of the attainments of the spiritual cultivation. And some can attain the transcendental power of the 5 visions and 6 clairvoyance. So like the divine eyes, where you can see other people, the things that other people cannot see. So the physical eye, divine eye, dharma eye, wisdom eye, and Buddha eyes. And the 6 clairvoyance can also appear. So the 6 transcendental powers are of the eyes, of the ears, of the lives, of the travel, soul travel, and of the complete leaking. And the 6th one is the traveling. And his body is filled with all the great bliss. He's always happy. So those practicing this consort practice will always be happy, because his channels often have inner fire flowing in it, and the chi flowing in it, and the light drops coming up and going down. So they are always happy eternally. The body is filled with eternal bliss and can attain the realization that bliss and emptiness are one. These other jokes are not funny. This is also not funny. Yesterday, my sister Linda told this, wanted to tell me, but she didn't because I have it already. A traffic policeman caught a speeding driver. And then the cop asked, "You drank?" And the driver said, "Nope." And the cop said, "I can smell the alcohol." And the driver said, "I just drank a glass of beer, that's all." And then the cop said, "But beer is also alcoholic beverage." And the driver said, "Well, in that case, is snail," well, this is a play of words in Chinese. Snail is like a climbing cow. Is it cow? No. Huh? So it's the bride mother. So it's the beer, alcohol, and he forgot and he said no. And then he laughed. So this is a play of words of Chinese. It wouldn't translate right into English. So is beer an alcoholic beverage? Yes. So if you master this Dharma practice, it can eliminate epidemics, blood impurities, sicknesses, and all illnesses can be avoided. Wow, isn't that great? You will not suffer any illnesses. When we usually say that when there's impurities in the blood, by doing this practice, why can we purify the blood? Because there would be the mixing, because there's qi entering and light drops emitting, so the blood would be purified. Why will not you suffer from illnesses? Because you would have a strong immune system, because all the hormones would be secreted, and then the immune system would be strengthened, and that's why you would win over all the sicknesses and you will not get sick easily. Did you ever notice that I never take time off because I'm sick? That I catch cold, or I have runny nose, or I'm weak. Did I ever take time off on Saturdays and Sundays? And here, every day I go to the Seattle temple to exercise. Did I ever take time off? And I would say I'm dizzy and weak and I need sleep, or I have fever, or I'm coughing, or I feel unwell, or my limbs are weak, or I have pains. Did it ever happen? Did it? Ever since I came back, did I ever take time off? Never. And I never take time off in Taiwan either for the 2 years. So all illnesses can be avoided. But this is dangerous, you cannot say this. Because if one day you get sick, then there would be problems. But why did he say that you will not get sick? Because you have a strong immune system. So after coming back from Taiwan, I had the blood test, and the doctor said, "Oh no, what have you been eating?" That you have hepatitis B virus inside my body. But the doctor said that all the viruses are dead because they have been killed by my immune system. Do you know that in Taiwan, it's about one of the worst places for hepatitis, and I always eat out. And because I do practice, I'm not saying about this consort practice, but I do the other tantric or yogic practices. And I generate the hormone. So as soon as I encounter virus in the body, it would be killed by my immune system. And my family doctor told me that all the viruses of the hepatitis A, B, and C were killed by your own immune system, so you will not suffer from hepatitis anymore. At that time, I felt, and I asked, do I need a vaccination? That if you get vaccination 3 times, that you would have immunity toward it. But the doctor told me there's no need because you already generate immunity yourself. And you will also not get cold easily. Did I ever catch cold? Maybe when I was young. Maybe that's a little bit exaggerating. I had a caught cold in college, but very few and far in between. I don't catch cold generally. Once I had some virus in one. If you have too much water element in your body, then you often have diarrhea. That's also not good. Or if you have bacterial virus, you also have diarrhea. But if you have no bacterial germs in your body and you have diarrhea, that means you have too much water element in your body. And the practice for Grandmaster is that it's not too dry and it's not too soft or loose, no diarrhea. So the bowel movement is always very healthy. Now the coffee enema is popular, but I have no need for it because my bowel movement is very normal. I don't have constipation nor diarrhea. My colons, my intestines are normal. Then you would feel healthy. If you have constipation, you would feel uncomfortable. And if you have hemorrhage, that's even worse. So you need to know how to do your practice of this yoga. So that's all for today. How is it? โรมานีแปลมีหอม
非常感谢